Boom. All right. Welcome, everybody, to the first Ezzpedition 2026 online meetup. Our purpose today is to basically answer questions, explain what all the fuss is about, and so on. Here's my suggested format. Since we're all sort of friends here, or about to be friends here, let's just do, I would recommend some introductions, name, age, location, and what brings you to the Ezzpedition, what your interests are in health, for example, or adventure, or whatever. Following which, I will do a quick review of the nuts and bolts of the trip. I'll also explain what Ez is because it's new to some of you, and then answer questions. Any problems with that format?
No.
Nope. All right, Charles, kick us off. Who are
Hi,
you? Yeah.
Okay. Hi, I'm Charles Jones. I'm 56. I live in the DC area. Known Dr. Krongrad for a very long time. Was just interested in hearing more about his new venture.
And what are your thoughts on health? Do you have any?
Oh, I have lots of health issues. I'm just saying, being 56, but I shouldn't say issues, just concerns and things that I'm, just things that I'm concerned about as I get older and want to be healthier and live as long as humanly possible.
Yeah. All right, Vincent.
Hi, my name is Vince Humans. Right now, I'm in Sunny Isles, but as I mentioned, Charles, I used to live in DC, and I still do on occasions. But last year, I was living mostly in Irvine, California, for the last year on a project, and prior to that, I was in Houston and been in Austin and in San Francisco, stuff like that. I'm in technology. So as far as health goes, well, I thought healthy a couple of years ago. The only issue I had was like a problem with my neck. But now I feel like I've got to, lower my weight and deal with my cholesterol and just change my lifestyle in general. So that's what kind of caught my attention with this, this March. It seems to be, this could be something you like, that you try to, get to. I also do a lot of offshore swimming events. So.
Yep. Sylvia.
I'm Sylvia. I am 52. Originally from Brazil, been living in the US since '94. I have always been very curious about the topic, and we had a conversation, I think yesterday, the day before, right, Dr. Conrad? We connected through LinkedIn. I'm not sure. I mean, another network, and I was really blown away by the whole concept that he's working on and everything that it's about. I mean, this expedition, to me, I'm still very curious about it, even though you went over a lot of details. I am a travel designer. I have a travel business. And the idea is to hopefully work, help with the project as much as I can, and also find out more about this whole concept that you are so enthusiastic about it. So I'm open and curious and beginner's mind.
Perfect. Michael.
My name is Michael Cariglio. I live in Surfside, Florida. I'm the father of 3. As you can hear by my accent, I'm from France, even if I've been living in the US for 24 years.
Oh, bonjour.
Bonjour.
Well, je parle français.
I'm 51. Vous parlez français? I'm 51 years old, and I'm starting to be conscious about the year passing, and for example, I put my name for some swimming race, and I love swimming, but I was very curious and by the concept you're about to explain today, and I just wanted to have more information, so that's why I register out of curiosity to see this new concept, basically.
Great. Wonderful. Thank you. All right. Some of you know me, some of you don't really. So I'll just give you a quick background. I am 67 years old. which means I am about halfway to the finish line. I've told my members of Ez that I will accompany them until a trek that I will do on March 14th, 2074. So that's 48 years from now, which means I have to solve a puzzle. I have to answer a question. How am I going to preserve my physical, cognitive, and emotional function for the next 48 years so that I can accomplish the one thing that is driving me? The Otter Trail, March 14th, 2074. You're invited to join me. We will meet at the trailhead at 8 a.m. So mark your calendars. Ez was born accidentally. It was born because of a text message, from a text message that I sent to our first member, Mazal is her name, having to do with a recipe. This was in 2019. That text message has evolved into what is becoming a global community of men and women who seek maximum health with minimal noise. They seek something that is the opposite of what our society offers today, which is minimum health with maximal noise. These people are, if I was to characterize them, I would say they are skeptical. They don't believe everything they see on TikTok. You know, they're dubious. They think people are lying to them. So we're talking about an evolution that happened in the context of a very broad and profound, in my experience, unprecedented loss of trust, just generally, in the government, in academic institutions, in the guy on Instagram, just a loss of trust. I believe, and this is my analysis, it's not scientific, but my gut feeling based on the interactions I've had, Ez has become what it is despite no marketing at all, just organic, friend bringing friend, sending stuff out to family members, because I think what they find in Ez is several things. Number one, credibility. So I bring 60 years at the bedside. That makes me a doctor. Ez is not a doctor. We're not here for medical care. We're here for health. We're building the country's first health school, right? So I went to medical school. Ez is like a health school. So they find actual scientific know-how and subject expertise and credentials. They find lived experience. I've been there, done that. I've done an awful lot of things, as much as anybody I know. Secondly, what I think they find is integrity. I think they're searching for integrity. I think they don't find it on TikTok and YouTube and all those places. As an example of what I think drives them to believe that I offer integrity is I don't sell them anything. They're not buying supplements from me. I have no conflicts of interest. Okay, I'm not here to tell you here's an ice bath. You pay me $2,000 and the ice bath is yours. None of that. Okay, I don't work for an academic institution, so I don't have to toe the politics that you will find in an academic institution. So number one, credibility. Number two, integrity. Number three, I'm a good communicator. I can entertain. I can tell stories. Okay, I think I'm a uniquely gifted raconteur, if you know what that means, Mr. Cariglio. I'm a storyteller by nature. And so here we are. We're a growing community. Now the question becomes, what can we do beyond what we've done when the purpose is knowledge, the accumulation of knowledge, transcendent wisdom? It turns out the classroom has a ceiling. There's only so much people can absorb when you give them posts and articles and those sorts of things. And so the idea behind the Ezzpedition, which was actually born with a field trip having to do with food, like where to buy yogurt, I mean, mundane things. The idea for that was born in the limitation of the classroom. We want to get beyond just texting each other and bringing guests to webinars. And so the plan is to have annual Ezzpeditions. This is the first one. There will be 48 Ezzpeditions. If you want to attend every one of the 48 annual Ezzpeditions, you need to come this year and join up every single year between now and 2074. So let me talk to you. Let me show you a little bit. I'm going to share the screen for a few minutes, talk to you about this specific one and explain to you what it actually is and what it kind of drives at. Okay, so can you guys see the screen? I can't see if you can see.
Not yet.
No? Okay, maybe if I hit the join the screen button, that'll help. Let me know if you can see.
Yeah.
1 second, I need to enlarge. Wait a minute. Just a moment. Okay, you should be able to see a large view of the of what is the Milky Way. It's the night sky. Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay, we're talking about a 5-day trip in Great Bend. It's part of the Chihuahuan Desert. People get confused. Chihuahua is a state in Mexico. It abuts the United States, and the desert from Chihuahua extends into Texas, New Mexico, and a tiny bit of Arizona. The dog that you're familiar with, the Chihuahua dog, was favored by the indigenous people who lived there. So no, it is not the wild dog of the desert. It was domesticated by the people who lived there, okay? This particular trip was designed for several things. Number one, to get us away from the modern environment, to really reset and remind us about certain foundations of our biology, which are impossible to reproduce in the city. For example, what does silence sound like? I can't show you silence in Washington, D.C., and I can't show it to you in Miami. It's too noisy. What do the stars look like? I can't show you in the city. It's not possible. And so some of our members have never seen the Milky Way. This is an opportunity because Big Bend, the region where we're going, Big Bend has the darkest skies in North America. And we're going during a period of a low moon, not a full moon. So we should be able to see, and just in my estimation, just have our breath taken away by the immensity of the celestial bodies. So the trip was designed around two of the ideas that we talk about. One is circadian biology, and I just touched on that, the night skies, for example, and everything that they mean. What does the lunar cycle do to our biology? What does electrification and illumination do to our biology? These are things we've studied in quite a bit of depth, and I'll be talking about some of that as we go. And the other element that we'll be weaving into it is fitness. The foundational question, is man a bodybuilder or is man an endurance runner? If you look around today's world, in your world, I'm sure, in my world for sure, you would never know that man is an endurance runner. You would think man is a bodybuilder because you see people with big muscles, but you don't see them running very far. Well, the Chihuahuan Desert is home to a people known as the Tarahumara, who will routinely run 70, 80, 90 miles. They're not an aberration. There are lots of examples. So we'll be talking about it. And we will, to make it even better, I think, we'll be joined by a man named Magnus Helander. He's from Sweden. He's one of our members who lives in Sweden. He's an ultra runner. So he'll be talking to us about what it's like to run 100 miles. What do you need to train for that? What do you need to eat for that? All by way of immersing us into these ideas. In other words, allowing us, the trip allows us to live them, if you will. Okay. So that's the idea behind it. It's an immersion in the principles we've been studying. How do I advance the slide? 1 second. Okay. Nuts and bolts. We're going to West Texas. We'll be meeting in, I'll go over it in a minute. We'll be meeting in Midland, which has an airport. Terlingua will be our base of operations. Terlingua is a town of 180 people. It is world known for its chili cook-off. We are not going to go to the chili cook-off. We're going to go about a week after that ends, and hopefully everybody will clear out by the time we get there. Dusty, quirky, unforgettable vibe. Dark skies. So the town very intentionally seeks to reduce nighttime illumination. It's something we're not familiar with. It doesn't exist anymore. We're going to go to one of the largest and least visited parks in the entire system. Very few people get out to Big Bend. It is true primal wilderness, an incredible geological landscape, which we can talk about. We can study hundreds of species of birds, lots of wildlife, coyotes, bighorn sheep, javelinas, which are a form of pig, and of course the Rio Grande, which cuts right through there. We will be spending 2 of our days on the Rio Grande in a canyon. There we go. So first 3 days are going to be in the Chihuahuan Desert. Okay, it is not a featureless landscape. There are oases. There's water. We've got 2 professional guides coming with us. they'll show us how to filter water, so we're not dragging hundreds of pounds of water on our backs. No need for it. And there's a chance we will never see another human being. It'll just be us traveling as if some ancient, tiny group of people traveling the landscape, like primitive hunter-gatherers. All right, so the first 3 days are backpacking through this landscape. Come on. There we go. The fourth and the fifth days we're going to spend on the river. This is the Rio Grande. The canyon is called Santa Elena. We may divert to a different canyon water conditions, depending on water conditions. 1,500-foot limestone cliffs, lots of birds in the vegetation on the sides, fish and turtles. We are probably not going to see another human being. So true wilderness. So 3 days backpacking, 2 days on the river. Come on. Oh. Itinerary, I can send you all of this. If you haven't received it, I can send you all of this in writing. So arrival at Midland, connect at the budget rent-a-car. I've rented a passenger van, so we're going to travel together. It's about a 4-hour, excuse me, it's about a 4-hour trip down to Lingua. We're going to arrive fairly late, meaning around 8 p.m. And so we'll stop at a town called Alpine. Those of you who have read Ez for a while maybe remember Alpine from some of the work we did about a phenomenon called social jet lag and its association with cancer rates. At any rate, Alpine is a small little town in West Texas known, we're going to eat at a restaurant called Riata, which is named for the ranch at which the story of Giant was written. I don't know if you remember, there was a movie called Giant with James Dean, Elizabeth Taylor, and Rock Hudson about West Texas ranching. So it's kind of iconic. Move on to Lingua. We're going to spend the first night and the last night in luxury teepees. So we're going to play Apache, although we're going to have a little bit nicer than Apaches. We're going to have really sturdy, beautiful, modern teepees. We're going to play Indian. And then backpacking out into the desert, canoeing for 2 days. The last night, it's a Saturday night, we're going to go into Terlingua and hang out with the locals. We're going to go to a local place called the Starlight. There may be live music. They play it there often. I'm eager to try chicken fried antelope. That's something I've never had before. Texans chicken fry everything, but antelope is a new one for me, and that's on the menu. Oh, and then the next morning we go home. So, comprehensive package. What you're seeing here is on the right, you're seeing an inside shot of a luxury teepee. That's what it looks like. It's the real deal. Package includes everything: transportation, dinners, luxury teepees, wilderness, including the guides, expert guides, canoes, paddling gear, backpacking gear, all the lessons. I'm going to teach you all kinds of stuff you've never known before. Unimpeded views of the Milky Way, and includes a couple of margaritas with the locals on the last night. I'm going to recommend that you do some reading. It's not required, but when I travel and I read, I get more out of the trip. This is one book to consider. It's kind of a classic in the running world. It's called Born to Run, and it talks about the Tarahumara and their culture of running basically forever. But I mean, there are lots of books. This is just one example. Okay, so how do I escape out of this? There we go. And I can stop sharing. Where did I stop sharing? Stop sharing. All right. So that's the story. This trip, it really is an adventure trip. It really is a wilderness trip, and it's unusual. It's got some great contrast between the desert and the river, and the desert and Terlingua. It's got all kinds of quirky little elements that make it interesting and exciting. But it was born out of an idea, which is, let's learn. Let's take all this stuff. Now, some of you are new. You haven't read a lot of the stuff that we talked about on circadian and fitness and nutrition and all of those things, but they will come out as we go. So it's an adventure, it's connection with new people, it's silence, it's peace, and it's wisdom. Preguntas?
How physically challenging it is?
This is designed for people of moderate fitness. We're not climbing the Everest.
Okay.
You must be able to walk about 8 miles in a day.
Okay.
But that's the thing. And actually, there's a podcast where people reviewed the itinerary, which I thought was really interesting. They picked up on an essential point. This is about endurance and getting to the destination as a group. It's not a race. It's the opposite of modern fitness culture. We're going to adopt the rhythm of the desert. Now, is that going to happen immediately? No. We're all urbanites. We're all modern urbanites. So it's going to take us a few days, I think. But yeah, you have to be able to walk about 8 miles a day.
Okay.
How is the weather at this time of the year?
It's going to be warm. You know, it's West Texas. It's towards Mexico, but it's November. It should be comfortable. It's also going to be dry. So unlike what we're used to in Miami, which is hot and humid, it should be warm and dry. So it should be fine.
And probably at night, it probably drops to cold temperatures because it's desert landscaping, right?
Yeah, but it's, you know, it's not high altitude. I mean, as you asked that, I remember I once had an experience in Arizona at 9,000 feet by the Grand Canyon. I came from Miami thinking the world is warm always. No, right. No, at night it dropped into the 30s and all I had was just nylon gym clothes. It's not that. It's not that. Yeah.
So we got to carry our own food, right?
The first 3 days. The second, the fourth and the fifth days, we're going to be canoeing, and the canoes will be doing the lifting. We'll eat better on day 4 and 5. We're going to have ovens. We're going to get cooked food. It's essentially only one night, though. It's really the Friday night. Saturday, we're back in town. But yes, you'll have to carry a little bit. I don't think this requires some incredible Herculean physical fitness. It wasn't designed for that. In fact, I don't think I want any of our future expeditions to be designed for maximal, you know, for bodybuilder, you know, ultra marathoners. That's not the point.
You are expecting a group of how many people, minimum and maximum?
Well, I don't have a minimum. I do have a maximum. I can only take 10 people total.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Small group. Yeah. You can't take 100 people on a trip like this and expect the desert to be silent. Okay. They'll be too noisy.
Okay. All right. It looks like exciting. I'm gonna order Born to Run first, right? That's the first step.
That's completely up to you. Yeah, but
you talk about a podcast also. Which podcast?
Yeah, it's a conversation. It's about a 15-minute conversation between a man and a woman who are looking at the itinerary. I'll send it to you. I have your email. Okay. I'll send you all the links to all that stuff. But they broaden the perspective. You know, I looked at it from the perspective, as I looked at it from the perspective of, here are things I want to learn. You know, I'm very data sort of oriented. I do love adventure. I do love the wilderness, but I looked at it purely from that perspective, but they looked at it from the perspective of modern society and what it's done to us. I'll send it to you. I think it's worth a few minutes. I think it's really good, actually.
Okay, thank you.
So during the hike, are we sleeping in tents or just under the stars?
We're going to have bedrolls, sleep systems, and there will be tents. Yeah. Now, if you want to sleep outside, you know, that's up to you.
Or in a hammock or something if there's trees.
I don't think there's going to be a lot of trees. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want to bring a hammock, it's extra weight to carry, and I don't think you'll be able to use it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously no cell phone service.
No, it's going to be very patchy at best. I mean, Chilingua, I think we'll have it, but in the desert, no. So if you want to do selfies and let everybody know, you're going to have to wait a few days to post those.
November 9th.
November 9th, yeah. Yeah, 2:30 Central,
And what's the airport you have to land at?
Midland. I can send you the link. If you go to worldofez.com, worldofez.com, at the top, you'll see a link to a page called Ezzpedition 2026. And that's got a lot of stuff. It's got frequently asked questions. It's got the podcast that I mentioned, and it's got a link where you can download the brochure that gives you all the details.
Yeah, I already saw that stuff.
Yeah, so the brochure is there with the details.
Looks really great.
Mhm.
Now, remember, if you want to come, you got to reserve your spot because,
It looks kind of short. If I'm going all the way out to Texas, I'd prefer to spend more time there.
yeah, well, that's up to you. Yeah, I mean, if you want to hang out in Terlingua, more room on the bus for us. That's fine. Just stay behind. It's up to you. It actually looks like a pretty neat little town, and one of our members has family in Marfa, which is a town nearby. I've never been, but apparently it's like a little artist colony. I'm a big fan of Texas. I just like it. I used to live in Dallas, but I'm sure there's more to do. And in the future, if you guys decide you need a 3-month expedition, we'll talk about it. But this is our first one, and I was conscious of cost and time and distance, all the logistical things. And what I was going to say is, if you want to come, register now, because when the spots are full, I won't be able to add anybody.
Can you go over the cost? Because I'm looking at the website right now. I cannot see it. Maybe
So if
the-
you go to the, so,
At the bottom of the brochure. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I can talk to you about it. It's $3,500. It's all inclusive. So it's what is it? Club Med used to do that, right? Everything's included, or Disney. I don't know. I want to position as with Disney, but you get the point. You don't have to worry about the nickel and dime. Pay at the hotel when you get there, pay for coffee when you get there. As has you covered. So it's very convenient in that sense. The one thing it does not include is your travel to Midland, and that's for a reason, because I've got people potentially coming from Texas. It's they're just going to drive out there.
Mhm.
So it's from Midland back and forth, and everything is included. You want to have 5 margaritas? It's included.
Wonderful.
Charles, you're the quiet one.
Oh, I'm just looking over the materials here.
Yep.
I did something like this in Colombia, a glamping expedition up in the mountains. No lights, no noise. I mean, there weren't even any bugs, and it was it was only for 2 nights, but it was pretty intense.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we can certainly consider more. I mentioned this to a couple people, but I've already got a kind of a thought about 2027. And the idea here isn't necessarily to get us into the darkness. It's to reinforce the lessons.
Mhm.
So for 2027, I've got somebody who may be able to help me organize a private archaeological dig just for us, to look at the origins of the human microbiome. In other words, what kind of bacteria did people in the Stone Age have in their guts, which ties into some of our inferences that we draw about today in our gut, in our immunity, in our health, all those things, but basically foundational knowledge, the kind that we really seek. So the idea there would be to have a private archaeological dig looking at fossils and jewelry and microbiome in the Serengeti. So in Olduvai Gorge, where some of the world's greatest fossils have been discovered, in Tanzania. So that would be less about circadian biology. That would be more about microbiome, for example.
Mhm.
And I'm wide open to ideas. If you guys want longer, if you want to do a camel expedition across the Australian desert with me, we should talk about it. But let's get through Big Bend and then keep talking. We got 47 more years after that.
Honestly, this one sounds great because there's exercise, minimal diet, atmosphere. This sounds pretty tempting.
Yeah.
It sounds like something I'd want to do. I mean, I hate
Yeah.
the concept of doing an Epcot Center kind of thing or cruise. It sounds miserable, but this sounds interesting. So,
Yeah. No, I'm psyched. It's amazing. So, any other questions?
No,
No.
I think it was great. Thank you. Thank you so
No,
much. Very
my
detailed.
pleasure.
Yeah, love it.
I'll get the recording and I'll ship you the link for it, and we'll keep talking.
Thank you.
You're
It's
welcome.
a pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Excited.
Thank you.
Right.
yeah,
You're
I'm
welcome.
jumping.
Mhm.
I'm heading for FIU right now. I don't know if you're there.
Bye. Thank you.
Nice to meet you, everybody, and